Hello all, and welcome to the first of tonight's beer reviews. Why am I doing two beer reviews tonight? Well, they're both fairly light, extremely sessionable beers, and I just kind of want to go through and review as much as possible. In the meanwhile, before some pretty big life changes come up for me. No, I'm not getting married or anything. No, I guess medium-sized life changes, I suppose. Anyways, the first of the beers that we'll be reviewing tonight is Samuel Adams' Belgian Session from their summer box set. This is a Belgian Pale Ale, Session style, at 4.3. That's extremely light. It's about as light as you can get without going into light beer territory. Let's read the label, shall we? A crisp, refreshing version of a traditional Belgian beer. Fruity, slightly spicy flavors from the Belgian yeast are balanced by toffee and caramel notes from our blend of malts. The hops provide a citrus character that rounds out this enjoyable brew. Cheers. Obviously, this is a summertime drink. Sessionable, light. But is it going to be too light? Let's find out. I haven't tried any of these. There's only 2 bottles of each per 12-pack. So, you know, it's just going to be me kind of going and shooting from the hip here. I do love the label, though. It's like a little picture of someplace in Belgium. Using the tulip glassware today. Considering the lightness, I'm going to go for the head first because I have a feeling it's going to disappear fairly quickly. Poured it pretty sharply. It is almost frothy-like. It's disappearing quickly. You're getting basically all the Belgian scents. Sorry, I got a little bit of something in my eye. Only much more muted, as you would expect. It's lighter. You got the cloves, you got that bubblegum, you got those phenolic notes there. All in all, very light. You don't really get much nose off of it until you go right up to it. Coloration is almost like most Belgian pale ales, in fact, maybe a shade darker. Extremely light on the palate. Carbonation is kind of moderate to low. Well, you get a bit of breadiness from the notes. You get that yeasty funk, that Belgian yeasty funk. In the finish, you got sort of an effervescent note of the clove. Almost like just the slightest ghost of hops. Unfortunately, I probably let this warm up a little bit too long while I was queuing up the video. Nothing really exciting there. It's basically what it says on the label, which is Belgian Session. It comes across as a Belgian Pale Ale. Well made, but almost a little, no, I would say definitely a little bit too light. It's refreshing. It's definitely something that you would stick inside You know, that would be great as a beach beer. But it's just rather insubstantial, I should say. There's no off notes there, and there's definite taste. It's, you know, let me put it this way. Let's compare this to a well-made Session IPA. In a well-made Session IPA, you have a sort, you know, there's still balance there. There's still flavor. Yes, it's lighter, especially in the mouthfeel and in the flavor, but there's still some oomph there. This, if a bad Session IPA is what I call hop water, you know, just pretty much undifferentiated bitterness with a very watery body, this could basically be called Belgian yeast water. You got those cloves there, you got the funk, but it's just tuned down and over a very watery body, which is kind of emphasized by the fact that you know, there's not too much carbonation there. If they umped up the carbonation a little bit, it would probably do this beer some good. As it is, with the carbonation so low, less effervescent notes coming up, and it feels way more watery on the tongue. Again, I wouldn't turn this down. I probably wouldn't buy it, but I wouldn't turn it down, and I would definitely go for it if, you know, I was at a beach beach party and they're in the cooler. Yeah, I'd definitely go for it. And if they didn't have anything else, I'd definitely go for it over, you know, a macro lager. But that's not a very high bar as far as I'm concerned. So, Belgian Session. Nice bottle art. Kind of... Well, I'm willing to go and give the idea of a Belgian Pale Ale, a Session Belgian Pale Ale another shot. Gotta oomph it up a little bit, gotta make sure, gotta amplify it a little bit. You know, you can still have that lowered ABV, that more refreshing body, but just oomph up the carbonation, oomph up, find some way to oomph up that taste a little bit. That's your beer review for tonight, folks. Well, first beer review for tonight, folks. Cheers.